It's 2:30 in the morning, and I'm the only employee working the front desk of a hotel. Earlier that night, a diverted flight had dumped more than 60 angry passengers into the lobby, so I was already exhausted and buried in paperwork. I stepped away from the desk for less than a minute. When I came back, there was a man leaning against the counter holding a beer. I assumed he wanted to buy it, and politely explained that I couldn't sell alcohol after midnight. He told me it was his beer and that he only needed a new room key. No problem. I asked for his ID, which is standard policy. He handed it over without hesitation. Then, out of nowhere, he completely lost it. He started screaming at me, calling me names, telling me I was going to lose my job, that he'd ruin my life. The strange part was that I had no idea what triggered him. I gave him the new key, and he stormed off toward the elevator, yelling the entire way. A few minutes later, the elevator opened. He was back, still screaming. Now he was claiming he'd called the police and that I was going to be arrested. Then he marched outside. A minute later, he came back in, then left again, then came back. Over and over. Every trip, he seemed more agitated. At first, I thought he was just ranting, but eventually I started wondering what he kept going outside for. Did he have a weapon in his car? Was he waiting for someone? The hotel had nearly 300 rooms, but that night, I was completely alone. No security guard, no co-workers, just me and this guy. Eventually, he threw a pile of old key cards onto the counter and accused me of locking him out of his room. I made him another key, hoping he'd finally leave me alone. Instead, he started threatening me. He kept saying that people were coming, and when they arrived, I was in serious trouble. That was enough. I called the police. About 15 minutes later, 2 officers arrived. I explained everything and formally requested that the guest be removed from the property. The officers went to his room, but he refused to answer the door. Then things got even more frustrating. The police told me they couldn't help remove him. They said that as long as he stayed in the room, it was essentially a hotel problem. If he assaulted me, then they could step in. Otherwise, I was on my own. And then they left. The rest of the night was miserable. Every time the elevator opened, I jumped. Every time the front doors moved, my heart raced. I kept waiting for this guy, or the mysterious people he claimed were coming, to show up. But they never did. His friends never arrived. His lawyer never arrived. And thankfully, neither did any violence. By morning, he was still in his room, and I was still shaking from the adrenaline. To this day, I don't know if he was high, mentally unstable, or both. But I learned one thing that night. Being the only employee in a hotel at 2:30 in the morning is a lot scarier than most people realize.